Well, anybody who cooks knows it can create grease. And Sioux City is stepping up efforts to keep that grease, oil, and fats from clogging up the sewer system and impacting the wastewater treatment plant. But some business owners say those requirements could cost them a lot of money. KTIV's Morgan Jones has more on those concerns.
Sioux City's wastewater treatment plant started a fats, oils, and grease or FOG program for the city to educate business owners on how to dispose of waste properly. If just washed down the drain, grease, dairy products, and food scraps can cause massive buildup in pipes, creating blockages. Those can create environmental and public health risks as well as odor problems. It is a legal requirement in the state of Iowa for any business dealing with food to install and maintain a suitable grease trap.
Everybody's doing their part. It's just a matter of just being educated on the process and exactly how that's supposed to go.
The wastewater treatment plant modified its sizing protocol earlier this year, which instructs businesses on the size of grease traps they'll need based on different factors.
One of the biggest things that stood out to me was the sizing criteria. Obviously, we knew going into this meeting that that was going to be a big focal point, but hearing some of the different ideas, the different ways people are looking at it, the seating, the occupancy, the single service, the commercial kitchen aspects of it, those numbers and checking those and making sure we're doing everything we can to try to get you into the closest fitting bracket, that will be a major thing that we look at.
Jason from Jason's Frozen Treats says the size of the grease trap that he was told to get is too large for his establishment, and the expense of the grease trap can be too much for a small business to afford.
I'm a new business owner. Obviously, I started my business last year, but I didn't hear from the FOG. So this year, hearing from the FOG department, it's just they didn't educate me on what was needed, so that obviously, so that as business owners, we can become compliant.
We want to see your business grow. It is not our intent to saddle you with needless bureaucracy and requirements that cost lots and lots of dollars, hard-earned dollars. We don't want to threaten a business. We don't want to put a business in jeopardy of closing, but sometimes onerous regulations do just that.
Towards the end of the meeting, Tom Pengel, Utilities Director of the Wastewater Treatment Plant Environmental Services, announced that the current policy will be put on hold until further notice. In Sioux City, Morgan Jones, KTIV News 4.
Now, the city does plan to have another meeting to discuss updates to that policy.